Hey guys,
Hey everybody.
today is day 22 of our Halloween movie challenge, and today we went with A Nightmare on Elm Street. Um, Classic horror movie. We had already seen two Friday the 13th, two Child's Plays, and a Halloween, but we had not seen a Nightmare on Elm Street yet. So we had to watch one, and today was the night. Me personally, loved the movie. I'm a big fan of Freddy. I think his character is great. I think the stuff that they do in the movie is great. This movie came out in, I believe it was 1984, so this was a few years after the first Friday the 13th, and a few years before the Child's Play movie. Um, so this one, um, especially for what they could do in 1984, was really impressive with the visuals.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Like right from the beginning, they set the tone. Like you had that Tina, the character's name is Tina. She was having that nightmare in the beginning, like going through the boiler, and she wakes up, but then after she ends up, I believe she's the first kill in the she is,
Who
isn't
is
she?
it?
Tina, the
Yes.
one that she keeps seeing in the body bag throughout
Yes.
the thing. Yeah, because she
She was the first kill inside the bedroom with the
yes,
boyfriend.
yeah, that's right. So now,
I just want to make it clear. When I was younger,
yeah,
Freddy creeped me out.
he creeped a lot of people out.
Like, no, full on creeped me out. Like, I was so scared of those movies because the concept, I guess, is so,
Tell us, what's the concept?
the concept is very creepy. So the
Mm-hmm.
concept is he can, well, generally he can only get you when you're sleeping
Mm-hmm.
because he gets you in your nightmares.
Right.
And just that concept creeped me out when I was younger. Now it's obviously it's not. Now I can actually appreciate the movie more. I think because I'm not so scared. When I was younger, I didn't appreciate it because you're so scared of it. But now I've seen that movie, the first one, with Nancy
As the main
and
character.
Johnny Depp's younger
Yep,
younger
younger self.
yes.
Yep, we got a young Johnny Depp in this movie.
Yeah, but I was able to appreciate it more now versus when I was younger, which is nice.
But see, that's the thing. That's one of the reasons why I liked Freddy and and I gravitated to Freddy more than any of the other guys when I was growing up, because his concept is terrifying.
It is.
If you think about it, with Jason, just pretty much stay away from Crystal Lake.
But what's weird is I never thought that Freddy would be more terrifying because he's the most unrealistic.
He
But think that just the concept.
he is, but he's also not, because if you think about it, the thing with him is he's a demon that gets you in your sleep.
Mm,
And there's no way to really fight him. There's no way to really prevent, like, you can't stop yourself from sleeping.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I said, with Jason, just pretty much stay away from Camp Crystal Lake. You,
Hmm.
for the most part, you're gonna be okay. I mean, I know there's a few times he gets out, but whatever. And then Michael Myers, I mean, just pretty much don't be a babysitter in his area, and you're fine too. Child's Play, don't buy the doll. You know what I mean? Like, this is the one guy. I mean, I guess technically don't live on Elm Street, but this is the one guy that's like, his idea is really creepy because he runs. Let's not forget that he's the only boogeyman that I can think of. Boogeyman that runs. Oh, actually no, Texas Chainsaw does too. Leatherface, he runs too. But anyway,
But not just runs. He'll be like 100 feet away.
yeah,
Then the girl turns around and he's right there.
and he's right there. But see, it
So
makes
it's like,
sense because it's in a dream. Whereas
yes,
when
it's a
Jason
nightmare.
does it, or Michael Myers does it, it doesn't make any sense. So that's what makes Freddy so scary, is that his thing actually does make sense because he is in a dream world. He can do whatever he wants. And the other thing too, he's one of the few that actually talk. You know what I mean? He has a lot to say. He
Yeah.
runs. He's not this big, like, hulking presence like some of the other guys too. And he also toys with his kills before killing them.
Yes.
Like, if you think about it, all the times he could have killed, like Nancy in this first movie, he could have killed her
He
so many
does this
times.
Cat and mouse.
But he toys with her so much, and he does that with all of them. Whereas if he would just do it like Jason or Michael Myers, it would be the end. It would just, he would have killed her so long ago. But but he likes to play with his food. You know what I mean? He's awesome. And the great thing too, the thing is too, is you can see how his character changed, because in this movie his voice was a little bit darker, and he was a little bit like they were really pushing him being scary, whereas in the later ones he's still scary and creepy, but he says a lot of comical things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In the later ones where they kind of realize like we can make this guy kind of sarcastic and funny, and it works in my opinion. I think the when Freddy starts to go more that route, it works out so well for him. But like I said, I love this movie. Like, you have so many great things that happen. Like, you have like just the effects alone, like when he's coming through the wall. Yeah. Like, you see him starting to come through the wall when Nancy's sleeping, but he doesn't fully come out, and then he goes back into the wall, and then they do the cool thing where she puts the crucifix back up and knocks on the wall because it's solid again. Like, that's awesome. I mean, I'm sure it's just a little mirror trick or something, but it's still so great to see it, because they do things like that. Or like even with when Tina has her nightmare, not the first one, the second time, and he's in the alleyway and his arms stretch all the way out.
Yes, yep, from side to side.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it's obviously like some kind of like it's on strings or whatever, but still, cool idea that they made it. And then she turns around and starts running when he's kind of like running after her with his arms flailing around, and then boom, there he is, you know? I mean, you got the stairs that are like soft and gooey when Nancy's trying to run up them a little bit later on in the movie. The mattress, yeah, well, the mattress a few times, because you have Johnny Depp's character get sucked through the mattress and blood sprays up onto the ceiling.
I apologize ahead of time for my my coughing.
Yeah, it's fine. That they have
this time of year sucks with getting colds.
Yeah.
So the mattress was twice.
Yeah, because you have the mom too. The mom goes through the mattress because Freddy lays on top of her when he's on fire, and he catches her on fire. Then they go through like some kind of portal, or I don't even know.
See, Tina's death was the weirdest. I think when I was younger, I think that's one of the deaths that creeped me out.
Her death was the weirdest. Like, what do you mean, though? Like, what about it?
She got dragged all over the place. She got dragged on the ceiling.
Oh, I see what you're saying, yeah.
And
see, that was a cool effect, too, though. They had her going up the ceiling and all around, and
if you guys watched our prior videos, that's one of the reasons why I don't like paranormal movies, because that stuff just creeps me out, being dragged all over the place, and there's nothing really there. So I think when I was watching that reminded me why I was so afraid of this movie, is because he's fighting her and she can see him, but the boyfriend that's sitting in the corner screaming his head off, not knowing what's going on, can't. It just literally looks like an invisible force just dragging her literally from floor to ceiling. Yeah, and I remember that when that scene came up. Yeah, I remember when I was younger, that creeped me out.
But see, that's what I mean. Like with everything they did in this movie, it wasn't just like they didn't just settle for like, because they could have just had him like stab them with the knives. Yes, you know, the claw hand. They could have just done that a bunch of times, like different stabs. But they didn't settle for that. They wanted these kills that you'll remember, and they're unique. They're different, and that's it's just it's appreciated even now. I mean, the movie came out in like '84.
And if I remember correctly, as the movies go on, the kills get like.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Even more crazy.
Yeah, of course. It's like that with everything. They always have more money thrown at it, so they're able to do more things with it.
But in this movie, I think I'm happy. I'm happy to say that I appreciate it now, versus when I was younger. So it was nice that you actually suggested for us to watch it.
Yeah, well, because we hadn't seen a Freddy one yet, and he is one of the must-have. You gotta watch a Freddy movie on during the month of October. Like, you know, he's a must.
But it's nice because I wasn't able to enjoy it or appreciate it when I was younger.
Yeah.
Now it's, you know.
Well, because things change. You get older, and then, you know, real life things scare you more than movies do. But it's still fun. And yeah, seriously. And you know what's funny too is I actually did jump at one part because I forgot.
You did.
I forgot that
what part was it?
It was when he comes out of the side.
Oh, that's right.
Nancy, I believe it's Nancy, if I'm not mistaken.
She's
running away from him. She's calling for him, I think it is. And then I believe it's when they
she's gonna go down the spiral steps. And he came out of the corner up top.
Yeah, because she's calling for him, and then like nothing happens, and then all of a sudden he just pops out at the top, like just randomly, and just that thing. I'm not gonna lie, I did kind of jump a little. I forgot that scene happened.
Yeah.
So that was that was a nice little jump scare there, and and then you got the things that I mean, obviously there are some things that are weird about the movie. I'm not gonna just say everything's great. Like for example, when she comes out of her dream world, when she's with the doctor or the doctors, and she's got cuts on her arm and a hat, and they're still trying to put her to sleep. Seriously? Like, how much proof does she need? What does she have to bring his jockstrap back? I mean,
he comes over with a syringe with
to put her back to sleep.
She's like, oh no. He's like, oh no, all you need is sleep, and it's like.
And the mom didn't believe her either,
Yeah.
even though she knew what happened to Freddie because she was involved in it. So it's like stuff like that is weird. Like, I mean. That I categorize that under it's a horror movie, so you have to like ignore certain things. You got to ignore certain realistic things to make the movie work.
Yeah.
But I mean, realistically, I mean, she brought out a hat, and she was scratched. You know what I mean? And then it's like.
And she had gray hair.
Oh, that's right. She had a stripe of gray. Like that doesn't just happen. You don't just wake up with like a strand of gray hair.
Yeah.
Maybe bald if you're stressed out enough.
Bald,
but not gray hair. And the other thing too is that they I'm trying to think of another situation here. This might be jumping ahead, but I know that the way she brings him out of the dream world was cool because the movie wants you to believe that it didn't work, and then he jumps out from the bed, which was cool. And then when he was in the dream world, he had no powers. He was almost like a regular guy. He had to run after her. He couldn't do any of his like fancy. Nightmare moves or tricks.
At the end of the movie.
Yeah, when you think everything's okay. Yeah.
That was kind of weird to me because.
It's a cliffhanger ending. Classic cliffhanger ending. I loved it.
Which, if everyone remembers, what am I gonna say?
Yeah, but they do it for everything.
I
loved it.
I'm not a super fan. Not that I mind it, but I'm not a super fan of cliffhanger endings.
Yep. But see,
I guess in certain cases I'm not so bad with it, but like, I guess it's that didn't make sense though.
It's because they already know like they don't want him to go away.
But the problem is that okay, let's talk about the fact that if you already watched this movie, you know what part it is. She knew the secret. You don't feed him fear.
Right.
Okay, and so then he went to go attack her, and all of a sudden he
like disappeared. Yeah.
But the problem is that she woke up back in the nightmare in the end, because we all know
I honestly don't know.
Life.
Yeah.
She didn't even know where she was.
Well, no, she did. She was at home. She was in the front of her house.
Everything was so bright. I didn't mean to say where she was.
Yeah,
I meant to
and
say,
it was
like,
foggy. There was a fog going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just think it was like the whole, like the classic, like the killer gets up that one more time. It's that type of idea where you think everything's fine, you think the nightmare's over, and they're letting you know it's not. He's still there. There's still something. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the mom still had fear or something. I don't know, but it was cool. I liked it. The friends pull up. There's the car. Everything looks fine. Then all of a sudden the roof slams and it's his sweater, the colors of his sweater. And then I like how it's driving away, and then.
And she's standing on the window and the mom's just like waving and.
Yeah, and then Freddie breaks through and grabs her and pulls her through the window.
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome. I don't know. I mean,
it was a good movie. No, I'm not discrediting it. That was a really good movie.
It was, yeah. I mean, that's one of those. Like I said, it's so many years. It's older. It came out in '84, so it's not a newer movie, and in my opinion, it still holds up really well. I would even go as far as to say, out of the all the first movies that came out for the iconic horror villains, or horror monsters, whatever you want to call them, this one might be my favorite. I think the first Jason, the first Child's Play, even the first Michael Myers don't match to this one. I think this first Nightmare on Elm Street is probably in my opinion, king out of the firsts. You know what I mean? Halloween would be right there. If I had to pick a number 2, Halloween 1 would be so close to Nightmare on Elm Street 1. And then,
Yeah.
in my opinion, a huge drop for the other two. I think Friday the 13th Part 1 is nowhere near these two, and I think Child's Play Part 1 is nowhere near these two either.
No, that I agree
I
with.
think these two are fantastic. And like I said, I loved the Freddy movies when I watched them before. We rewatched this one tonight. Still just as good. Holds up fantastic in my opinion.
Yep.
You know, I mean, the acting isn't the greatest, you know, but that's kind of given with a lot of these movies in the early 80s, like that horror movies. So it's like, I don't know, I just overlooked that, to be honest with you. Because if you look at the other ones, none of the acting was great in those either.
But still, in this one, it wasn't...
It wasn't bad.
No.
It wasn't bad. It was pretty good. But I'm just saying there are certain parts that are a little bit, you're like,
Yeah.
that's not the greatest acting. But, I mean, still, though, I mean, the movie... And Robert Englund as Freddy is phenomenal. He's so good.
Yeah.
He is so good. And he just... I don't know, man. He raised the bar to a point where it's unfair. Because anyone who tries to play Freddy after him... Actually, they did do another Freddy. And that one, we'll talk about that one at another time. But I thought the actor of that movie did a great job, too. But because it wasn't Robert Englund, that movie... That's part of the reason that movie didn't do so hot. But I thought that new Freddy one was really, really good, too. And I thought the actor was fantastic in that one. But everybody loves Robert Englund. And that's the one advantage with, like, a Jason or a Michael Myers. It's a guy in a mask. So you can keep replacing him... As long as you keep that same iconic mask, the viewer just looks at it like that is Jason or that is Michael Myers. Freddy, it doesn't work that way because it's a voice. You actually see the face. Even though it's burned, you do see the face, you hear the voice, and that's what makes it different. And obviously the movement too. Like Robert Englund knows how to play that he knows how to present himself very well as this character. So, I mean... I could go on and on about it. I like I said, I really like this movie.
I liked it.
I want to try to squeeze in part 2.
Okay.
I want to try to squeeze in. We have, 9 more days left, so I want to try to squeeze in Freddy 2 and see where it goes from there, because I don't really remember the second one that well. It's been years since I've seen these, so...
Yeah.
But yeah, so maybe we'll squeeze it in within the last 9 days. But yeah, that's all I have to say about the movie. I mean, I feel like a schoolgirl gushing over it, to be honest with you. But this one, it was one of my favorites. It was then, it is now. It just holds up. Really good.
I like it a lot.
Really good.
I'm glad we watched it again.
Me too. But, alright guys, thank you very much for watching our video. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
Thank you so much, and so you guys don't miss any of our videos, make sure you hit the bell notification icon.
Yep, have a good night, guys.
Have a good night.